But the city will get through it. People will get through it.
People like you.
You know, I wish I could be more helpful than I am.
You're doing your part by speaking and talking about it. Thank you, John. And thank you, you too. You jumped at that first shot, didn't you? All right, baby. Just again, great people, everybody willing to talk, to share their experiences here. Keep the lines of communication open. Talk to your children. David, I know you have started already talking to your children about this horrific event. And just like that man said, John and Lloyd, we're going to get through it. New York is an incredible place, and with help from neighbors, Connecticut, New Jersey, everywhere, the whole world is rooting for us, and we will overcome this incredible obstacle and this incredible hole in this community.
You know, Scott, it's good to see people walking their dogs, going shopping, going back to everyday life, trying not to let the terrorists win in that way.
You know, it's like, what are you going to do, Ellie? What are you going to do? You're going to haul up inside your apartment? And no, you cannot do that. You are still here for a reason, and that reason is to carry on and to keep the faith. You got to have a good faith to get through this, but again, we're all still here for a reason, and that is to continue on for as long and as fight the battle and keep. I feel like a preacher out here, but I got to tell you, that's how I feel this morning.
You know, Scott, to underscore that, while we've been listening to you this morning and talking with you, next to you in a box, we've also been looking at different times this morning of live video, live feed, live shot of what's actually happening. We're looking at it now down at the World Trade, and we've been able to see some of the bulldozers this morning going in and starting to pull away some of the debris. That's going to be a big job today.
David, I don't know if you can hear above us because there's no air flight, but there's an F-16 right above us. There it goes. It is an amazing sight. It's freedom. They're patrolling the area, and it just makes us feel even that much more safe here in this, what they call the Big Apple. And not often you see an F-16 flying over Manhattan.
No. Not often. All right, thank you so much, Scott. Good to things.
You're welcome.
Good to see things are getting back to what may seem like normal.
Thank you very much, Scott. Governor Rowland is now expected to address the state later on this morning.
And Channel 3's Kara Sunland joins us from the Office of Emergency Management near the Capitol building. It's been set up at the State Armory to organize rescue efforts.
So, Kara, we thought it was going to happen at 7. What are you being told now?
I'm told that the governor is going to arrive here and that he is being briefed all morning long and that he won't address the state until at least mid-morning. They're talking maybe 10:30 or 11 o'clock, but that doesn't mean that nothing is going on here. In fact, the control center where we are not allowed right now, you can peek through the windows and see there are people busy on the computers. They are watching the television screens. They are calling their different stations throughout the state to see what needs there are, because we've heard Governor Rowland is going to do whatever it takes to keep Connecticut residents safe, which he has assured us that we are, as well as help the neighbors in New York. And to talk more about that effort, I'm joined by Major John Whitford of the Connecticut Army National Guard. Thank you, Major, for being with us.
Good morning.
I know you've been here all day, all night, working hard. Let's talk about what's sitting there down in the southern part of the state. There's a lot of equipment ready to roll if Governor Pataki calls for it.
Yes, right now we have 4 aircraft that are downrange in New York. We also have moved some of our engineer equipment to Norwalk. Most of that is loaders, dozers, small excavating equipment to help in debris removal.
And casualties, I understand, are coming in to hospitals in Stamford and Greenwich.
That we're still getting word on. We do have medical personnel along with ambulances in Greenwich and Stamford to assist in that if needed.
Is your role now to be part of the rescue effort as we are a neighboring state? Because we're hearing these horrible stories that people are calling on their cell phones, trapped inside the towers. I guess that's hope that there is life. But now, is this where you come in?
That's one of the roles, one of many roles that we could play if New York calls and they're looking for certain kind of help. If it's medical personnel, we have doctors, PAs, nurses to assist, engineer personnel at the ready to assist in debris removal. So the show of life is a great sign. It's a good sign, and we're here to help, just waiting on the call from New York.
Now, everyone hears that firefighters, military people, it's all about, oh, this is our job, we're here to serve, but certainly in your lifetime, and anyone's lifetime, we have never seen anything like this. What are you thinking personally as a member of the military when you're trying to fight something like this that maybe perhaps you thought they could never hit us here?
It's a tough feeling. It's a lot of emotions. It's things that we train on. We deal with this. We train on this and work with this all the time, but not something of this magnitude. It's just really unbelievable. But we go on. We move on, and you know, normalcy, business as usual, and it's one of our roles, and we're here to help.
Although the governor has assured us that the state is safe, schools are open, so are state offices, so are federal buildings, you are still operating as the military under threat.
Yes, we have heightened security here at the Armory and other National Guard facilities throughout the state. So we have increased our security level, and we're monitoring that and enforcing that as we speak.
And the sub bases, what's going on there?
The sub base has increased their threat level as well, and they're really monitoring things, people coming in and out of the base.
Now, the main thing that we want to reiterate, if people at home who want to help, who are not in the military, who are not doctors, the main thing that you're asking for is that people head to donate blood over the next several weeks.
Yes, that's one of the biggest things. The governor had mentioned that earlier, to donate blood. It may be something that'll go on for weeks. One of the roles that our armories can play is a center for donating blood, and we'll provide that information if the time arises or the need arises.
Okay. Thank you, Major John Whitford, for being with us this morning. As he mentioned, things are different around here. Not only are people trying to digest all that's happened and these horrific pictures and stories that we're hearing, just a simple idea, most of the Connecticut media walks in here as if nothing has happened on a normal day, on a snowstorm. That is no longer. The Armory is locked down. We are being searched, our bags, our IDs. Everybody is at a heightened level of alert. Although I want to reiterate, the governor has said with FBI surveillance, Connecticut is safe, and the primary role now is to help New York.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, Kara. Kara Senlin in downtown Hartford today. We do want to let you know a partial casualty list has been released, and we have that up on our website for you, and that is WFSB.com.
Now, Connecticut is back open for business today, as the governor has mentioned. The financial markets are not, though. Wall Street will stay closed today while Manhattan copes with the horrible tragedy. Meanwhile, Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan is returning to the U.S. today. He was set to return from Switzerland actually yesterday, but his flight was turned around when the FAA closed the airspace. Foreign markets not good. Already the Nikkei this morning down 226 points. Foreign markets, of course, plunged yesterday after the attack.
New Yorkers trying to come to grips with yesterday's devastating attack attended a special mass last night at St. Patrick's Cathedral. The cathedral was filled last night with worshipers who prayed for the victims and their families, and many also prayed for answers, stunned about the malicious attacks that have left so many Americans dead.
Do not be afraid, he said. Have peace. Peace in your hearts. Peace I give you. This is no time for hate. This is no time for plans or imaginings of retaliation. We seek out who did this, and in justice, in the style of civilized people, we will bring them before the court of justice. Hate never begets peace. Justice does.
Prayer services just like this one were held all across the country last night.
We know this morning that many of you are wondering about the victims on those 4 hijacked planes, some 225 or so victims yesterday. An official passenger list, a complete list, has not been released yet. We do have a partial list, as Ellie just mentioned. You can see that at WFSB.com. That partial list is available there. We do know this morning that a former Connecticut man is among the dead. Peter Hansen grew up in Easton near Bridgeport. He was on board one of the planes that crashed into the World Trade Center yesterday. Hansen described hijackers with knives on the plane during a cell phone call to his dad. He and his wife and daughter were flying to California to visit his wife's mother. His father, Lee Hansen, still lives in Easton.
All airports nationwide are still shut down this morning, including Bradley International. The airports will stay closed at least until noon today. At Bradley, crews have been working to upgrade security. They've installed jersey barriers around the perimeter of the terminal. Again, Bradley and all airports will remain closed until at least noon today. That's the earliest the FAA will lift its ban on air travel.
If you're asking yourself this morning, what can I do to help? The Red Cross has an answer for you.
And Beth Hersman from the American Red Cross is in our newsroom this morning with more on what people like you can do to help. Thanks so much for joining us, Beth.
Good morning.
Beth, what is the #1 thing that you need from people?
You know, there's three things that I see people wanting to reach out to the Red Cross to do, and one is to donate blood. If they want to do that, they should call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. We're also getting a huge amount of calls of people who say, I want to donate, I want to send a monetary donation to help with disasters like this. And to those people, we ask them to call 1-800-HELP-NOW or to visit redcross.org. Those are two huge things. The third one are people who are coming to us and saying, I want to donate my time. The best thing to do is contact your local American Red Cross, and we will definitely contact you if we need you past that point, and we'll also talk to you in the future about getting trained to really respond to disasters just like this.
Beth, what are the things that the Red Cross is doing to mobilize all these people calling in to help you to actually get the help to where it needs to be?
The Red Cross has a huge phone bank where we are having volunteers who are manning that phone bank, and we are getting huge amounts of calls in for all different issues related to the Red Cross response. I know here in Connecticut we have sent 9 volunteers down to Lower Connecticut and New York.
From New York?
To help that, yep, and into New York to to the affected areas there, as well as to emergency response vehicles. And those people are, those volunteers are providing mass care in the forms of food, shelter, as well as mental health.
Beth, a lot of people are wondering today, they say, I want to give blood, but they're curious as far as the best times to go. You're actually saying that there's an organized system set up via the internet to find out more about where you should go and when.
Definitely. The most updated list of drives in Connecticut can be found at www.bloodct.org, or you can call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE, and they will give you the listing of all the drives closest to you, the times, and what we're telling people is be persistent. We are receiving a huge influx of calls, but keep trying. And not only do we need people to give blood now, but in the coming weeks, because there's still going to be a huge need.
Now, Beth, the blood that is donated here will most certainly get to New York, where it needs to be, correct?
Actually, the blood goes into our inventory, and we have already sent out blood that has been previously collected, red blood cells and frozen plasma. We've sent it out for distribution to New York. So, can we say that it will be directly used for this disaster? No, but it will still help supplement our blood supply to help in all of our area hospitals.
All right, thank you very much, Beth, for coming in this morning. We appreciate your time. Beth Hersman from the American Red Cross.
Thanks so much, Beth.
I think actually we have a live picture. I'm being told by our producer, Rebecca. Is this Manhattan, Rebecca? Is this World Trade? Here we go. That's the famous Manhattan skyline.
With the World Trade Centers no longer there. It's been almost 24 hours since those 2 buildings collapsed.
You can still see the dust and debris.
Yes.
This morning. It's been almost 24 hours ago since this happened. 23 hours ago, to be exact, that everything changed and this horrible devastation happened. We've been talking all morning long about the impact this has had, certainly in the people in New York and here in Connecticut. You may have noticed today that our own Bruce DePriest is not here.
And we are very sad to tell you that the reason he is not with us this morning is because Bruce's brother-in-law, Peter Gay of Tewksbury, was aboard the flight from Boston to California. That was one of the planes that hit the World Trade Center.
This was very sad news yesterday. 54-year-old Peter Gay, a Raytheon engineer. He was flying on business as he did from Boston to LA every Tuesday yesterday. Certainly, Bruce, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. You were obviously very upset yesterday, and to your wife, Laurel, and to your family. I know it's a terrible loss and really underscores the loss that so many of us have here in Connecticut today, and many of us still don't have answers as far as our loved ones there. So a very difficult day, to say the least.
And hopefully things will start getting back to normal. The governor, the president saying America must go on, democracy must stay strong. Again, we will be here all day long and throughout tonight bringing you the most updated information as it becomes available.
Today is a day of coping and hopefully a day of much more information about all of this. We're not finished by a long shot. We're going to be with CBS all day today and of course right here on Channel 3.
Thank you for waking up with us.
We leave you with a candlelight vigil from last night.
Thank you, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we share our sympathy with you as well. Would anyone else like to speak at this time?